his name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wind, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
This is the Rory Jennings Show on talkSPORT, and it's an England special edition. As we've just heard, England beat Andorra 2-0 live on talkSPORT. But to be frank, although it finished 2-0 at Villa Park, it was dreadful, boring, turgid, hard work football, lethargic and unacceptable from England. Thomas Tuchel keeps telling us that he intends to inspire. He keeps telling us that he intends to invigorate, but he is massively failing at his job so far. And to be totally honest with you, I am worried. I am really worried. The direction of travel is not good, and with the World Cup looming less than a year away, I am really concerned. Do you share my fear? Give me a ring, 03717 223344. This Tuchel appointment, to be totally honest with you, it didn't ever feel particularly correct to me. It didn't ever feel right, and now I am more unconvinced than I ever was. The whole point of Thomas Tuchel was to win the World Cup. There is no middle ground. There is no developmental period. There is no time for growth. It is simple. Come in and win. We have sacrificed our principles to appoint a winner, and the winner is currently looking like somebody who is abject at the moment. This England team look further away from winning than we have done for decades. Listening to the coverage as well, I mean, it absolutely baffled me. I heard Lee Dixon talking about the positives. I barely know what he was referring to, but if you have any idea on the positives, if you think that there is a good day at the office for anyone involved in the England camp, do give me a ring. I really do want to hear from you. Remember, talkSPORT is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV, Google TV, and we're also on Prime Video. So come and watch us in our brilliant new studio. But now it's all about you and your opinion. So give us a call, 03717 223344, to air your views to the nation on the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT. I mean, my opinions on the game were shocking. I think it was absolutely shocking. We are playing a country who are comprised of 80,000 people. 80,000 people. When you think about what Wembley Stadium holds, Andorra holds less. And we have managed, over 2 games under Thomas Tuchel, to score 3 goals. It looked so underwhelming, so uninspiring, so poor. But I want to hear from you. Am I getting this wrong? I'm going to go straight into the phone lines now, and we're going to talk to Frank. Frank, sir, you are live on talkSPORT. I've got to be totally honest with you, Frank, before I even let you get a word in edgeways. I'm gutted with that performance. I really am.
You keep taking the words out of my mouth. Dreadful. I mean, it wasn't even dreadful. They weren't good enough to be dreadful. And I honestly think at the root of it all is they just don't have any belief. It doesn't matter what system or players they put out there. They just never really believe, and I mean really believe, that they can win things. They know they're good enough to get, into the semis. And, sure, we'll see what happens. It's a bit like the Irish, where you always used to be glad to get there. But, the English have this for the final mentality. They're just not able to hop over.
But isn't that what Thomas Tuchel was supposed to bring, Frank? Isn't the whole point of the Tuchel appointment was that he was going to bring the belief?
I would love to go to the comedy club with Tuchel and Steve Clark. It'd be a great crack. Janie Mac, the man, how is he inspiring? This stuff is patronising almost. You know, we're doing really well.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't understand it. But the point of the Tuchel appointment was to actually get us over the line, wasn't it? He was supposed to be the difference maker. We had some managers that had got us to a particular place. We were quite confident of our ability to navigate qualifying now, quite confident in our ability to navigate the arduous terrain that is a tournament. But what we needed was a clincher. We needed somebody who was a finisher, somebody to get us over the line when it most matters. That's what Thomas Tuchel was supposed to do. It feels to me like we've regressed.
Maybe this is, you know, his thing is it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as I win, and he's just going to put these weird teams out every time just for that one game, like it's a cup tie mentality, and just keep tailoring every team to that particular moment in time.
I just don't get it, Frank. I really don't get it. I'm going to keep the phone lines moving. I really do want to hear from as many fans as possible. Do give me a ring, 03717 223344. Give talkSPORT a ring and I could be speaking to you very soon. That is the number that Jackie Knuckles... Jackie, we've spoken before.
Hiya, Rory, okay?
Not really, Jackie, no. To be totally frank, no. You?
No, I'm not neither. I thought it was so pedestrian, so boring. Same old England.
I just don't get it.
I don't think Andorra had one. In fact, they didn't have one shot all in the 90 minutes. At the end of the day, you know, I know they part of the bus a bit, but come on. They're 173rd in the world, Rory. They should be beating teams like 5 and 6.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be 5, 6, 7 0.
It's embarrassing, Rory. It really is embarrassing.
And we're actually worse to watch now, dare I say it, than we were under Gareth Southgate.
You know, that's really strange because I've got a friend watching it with me, and I said exactly the same thing to my friend, that it's worse than Gareth Southgate. I mean, he got us to 2 finals, semi-finals and everything. Okay, it was a bit defensive to admit it, but at the end of the day, keep playing like this, Rory. Where will we play the big sides in the World Cup?
Oh, we haven't got a prayer. We haven't got a prayer. Do you know what, Jackie? I've been so confident in this crop of England players over the past, say, 5 years. I've genuinely believed every tournament. When we went to Qatar, I thought we were going to win it. When we went to Germany last year, I genuinely believed that we were going to win it. I think that we're further away than we have been for well over a decade.
Exactly that, yeah. Now, if when we played Italy, if Gareth Southgate, when we went 1-0 up, obviously I'm bringing it up with pass, but when we went 1-0 up, and then he brings the defenders on, do you know what I mean? We could have won that game. That was our very, very best opportunity to go and win something. It's going to be years. Rory, I just can't see him winning anything again. No. I really, really can't.
No, I mean, I agree with you, Jackie. It does feel like we're miles away. Jackie, I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling. We're going to keep the phone lines moving because a lot of people have got a lot of opinions on this debacle that we have seen at Villa Park. We're now going to talk to Raj, Liverpool fan, I believe. Raj, how are you, sir?
How are you doing? Fantastic. Yeah, but the game was absolutely pants, if I can say.
Yeah.
And with the son, Ariane here as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We watched the first half and then we ended up going to the park, Rory, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just shocking.
I mean, I can totally understand why. I mean, Villa Park on about 70 minutes was empty. Yeah. My mate who travelled up to the game from London, look, he does a lot of the England games. He basically has to go to validate the ticket to get the caps. But he said that New Street was full of England fans on their way home on 70 minutes.
Name me 3 world-class players for England. Can you name 3 or even 2 world-class players?
But you know what, Raj, I would actually look at that in a different way. I think that this is a really talented crop of players. I think that this is a really, really good crop of players.
Okay.
And we're being let down, actually, managerially.
I think the FA should have went all out for Eddie Howe, personally.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Bringing Tuchel in, even though he's a good manager, it's divided the country. You know, who wants a German manager? We want an English manager. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, on some level, I just feel like the manager of England, to understand the nuances of England, on some level needs to be English. Also, Raj, do you know the way I feel about it a bit? It feels to me like it's cheating.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yes.
It feels to me like we're cheating. Like what international football is supposed to be? It's supposed to be a representation of the best that we have to offer. Thomas Tuchel isn't the best of what we have to offer. He's the best that we can afford.
I have to agree with you there, and I just wish England played like the way they played against Holland, against Spain.
Yeah.
They just were scared. You know, in the Euros, if they played exactly the same way they played against the Dutch, we would have won.
Yeah.
But they just played with a handbrake, and we'll never be Spain or Brazil. We don't want to. We're English.
No, there were moments. There were moments under Southgate where it was there for the taking. I agree with you. It was there for the taking, but we chose the wrong decision. We didn't play Grealish when we should have played him in our home tournament. Practically, we didn't make full use of Cole Palmer when we should have made full use of him last year. And do you know what we've done time and time again? We have picked players on reputation rather than form, and it's cost us.
Okay, one quick question. What's your view on Harry Kane?
I think Harry Kane is a world-class footballer who doesn't have any competition in this England team.
I absolutely agree with you. He's still banging him in for Bayern Munich. He's fourth in Europe last year, just after the other three that were there. He was fourth. And I've noticed when he's not playing, there's no structure. England, they don't know what they're doing. I've seen it time and time again. I'll take Kane off. And they did. What happened? They didn't. They had nothing.
No,
they didn't know.
No, I agree. And do you know what? I would have also, as much as I love Kane, I think he's a far superior player to any other striking option that we have. Absolutely. I would have definitely given Ollie Watkins some game time in his home ground in an England shirt.
Absolutely.
Surely he deserved some game time in an England shirt at Villa Park, a ground that he knows so well.
Yeah, I don't know if Tuchel, he might even get sacked before the World Cup. He's not doing it. He's not done it.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what, Raj? In terms of what we appointed Thomas Tuchel to do, he was supposed to come in, elevate the belief, elevate the squad, tactically, tiny tactical tweaks that were going to make all the difference. I've seen absolutely no elevation in this England team since he's taken the reins.
And what is Jordan Henderson still playing for? Forget England. He should be retired now. I'm a Liverpool fan. I love him, what he's done for Liverpool, honestly. But he should be nowhere near that England squad. No. Nowhere near. No. Leadership. Tuchel's the manager. He should be a leader.
Yeah, I completely agree. Picking players because they're good at leading the piggy in the middle is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it?
And that will be alienating the other players. And one quick thing about Jude Bellingham as well. I know he's a brilliant player, but I think he's got the dressing room a bit divided as well. I think he walks around a bit like, oh, I play for Real Madrid now, honestly.
Do you know what, Raj, though? I disagree with you here. I disagree with you. A lot of what you've said has totally chimed with the way I see the situation. But do you know what I think England need? I think we need more of that Real Madrid mentality. We need more of that Jude Bellingham mentality. Like, do you remember last year when he scored that goal in Gelsenkirchen? Brilliant goal, bicycle kick, and then he goes, who else?
Okay.
I loved it. I think we need that. We need that arrogance.
What's he done after that, though? He's not won anything yet. I like the arrogance, but he's got to do it week in, week out. Next game, he should have went in and took the game by the scruff, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot to concern us. And Raj, I massively appreciate your call. Please do give me a ring if anything that you've heard tonight so far chimes with you. If you're more positive about Tuchel, or if you share my fear, do give me a ring. Let me know your thoughts on the debacle at Villa Park. Give me a ring, 03717 223344. Now remember that England's last 3 wins against Andorra prior to Thomas Tuchel were 4-5 and 6-0. That's how much of a drop-off it's been. Fabio Capello was the last England manager to go to eat. It was a Capello performance. Capello was 2-0 against Andorra. So tonight, I'm making you the England manager. I want to know what changes would you make for the Serbia game. Give me a ring, 03717 223344, and I could be speaking to you next on the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT.
Now, with over $3 billion spent in the Premier League,
clipping it in. Scottish to Gahey, more towards Jennings. Kane making an early run. It's Rice coming round the back.
4-4 for Wright, played more forward passes than we've seen over the last couple of games. That pleased me.
Now, when you've got players who are the equivalent of 4th or 5th tier playing for Andorra here at Villa Park, England at home, I think that fans have a right to come here and expect to see 4 or 5 goals put past that team. These are Premier League players. These are the elite players. And we see them playing really well week in, week out in the Premier League. Yes, they won, but nobody was really entertained that much, were they?
And that right there is why Adrian Durham is the king of talkSPORT. He has absolutely hit the nail on the head. Unacceptable, not good enough. These players are supposed to be elite. And crucially, we know that they are elite. So where is it going wrong? Why does the England shirt weigh so heavy? Why are they set up to be so tactically naive? Why is there such a lack of cut and thrust under Thomas Tuchel's guidance? It really doesn't make sense, and it is so worrying ahead of a World Cup. Remember, Thomas Tuchel has only been brought in to win England the World Cup. The whole point of sacrificing our principle to bring in Thomas Tuchel was to make sure that we win the World Cup. This isn't about development. There is nothing good. There is nothing about building. There is nothing about journey. This is a simple binary task. You come in and you win the World Cup, you succeed. You come in and you don't win the World Cup, you have failed. And ultimately, Thomas Tuchel is earning an absolute fortune, and I doubt he's too fussed about it either way. This is so worrying, and I want to hear what you have to say. Give me a ring, 03717 223344. That is the exact number that Rob called. And Rob, sir, you are live on talkSPORT.
Hey, Rory, fantastic show as always, and some really good points. I just wanted to offer not a little bit of a balance to you, but just a little thought from my side.
Please.
In my opinion, there's 3 players that should not be anywhere near the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Burn, fantastic player, but you imagine Dan Burn up against Mbappe, it makes you sweat a little bit. So, in my opinion, Thompson coming in. Henderson, why on earth he's there? Absolutely doesn't need to be there at all. And Rashford, again, in my opinion, shouldn't be there. Should be the likes of Gordon or Nonne, being a gooner, out on the left wing. I think with that, would give us a little bit of impetus. We've obviously got, as we know, Bakay's got to come back. Jude, regardless of all the noise that's gone on, has got to come back. And with that, I think we've got the team that is really exciting. The only issue is, as you keep going back to, it's the manager. And it does feel, you said it earlier, it feels like we're going backwards under him. It feels like we're going back 10, 15 years, and that's my concern. Again, we've got the talent, we've got the players. But again, the man who's standing there making the big decisions is getting them wrong, and I can't understand. I can understand the low block and why we didn't penetrate that. I do get that, but I'm just not seeing anything under Tuchel that's making me excited.
No, I completely agree with you. Rob, I completely agree with you. Virtually everything you've said. The only thing that I would contest, I think that you're bang on about 2 of the 3 players that you suggested aren't really England quality. And I would totally agree with you regarding Dan Burn. I think Dan Burn is an excellent Premier League player. I think Dan Burn has had a glittering Premier League career.
And great for Newcastle as well.
Brilliant Newcastle player. Brilliant player for Newcastle United. Brilliant player in the Premier League, and will go down as a player that has had an exceptional career as a Premier League player. But this is different. Playing for England is different. This is the creme de la creme. This is the best that we can possibly offer, and we're going to be coming up against the very best.
Dan Burn at the back, are we?
No, that's exactly how I see it. So I'd agree with you. The one player that I would perhaps, or just to push back a little bit, Rob, you put Rashford in this. The reason that I would say Rashford, I feel like there is potentially a place for Rashford, just because if it goes well for him at Barcelona, what Rashford offers this front line is unique. Look, I think Harry Kane is an exceptional player, world-class talent. I think the same about Bukayo Saka. But we're lacking pace. Marcus Rashford gives a different dynamic to that front line, doesn't he?
He does give that different dynamic. Maybe a bit hard to pull him out of the squad, but I haven't seen enough of him to warrant a place. I would like to say Gordon and say Madueke or Bowen based on what they're doing. But at the same time, he's been there and he's done it at the big tournament. So if that really shouldn't he? I'm sure he will be on the plane. If he performs for Barcelona, I think it would be a no-brainer. Maybe putting him from the squad's a little bit unfair, but I think in the team, I just don't think he warrants a place. But I think based on form, Grealish. But again, not too much pace. But again, Grealish.
Yeah. Do you know Grealish? You know when you think about Grealish, like when you think about the character that he is, I love Jack Grealish. I think he's a sensational player. I really do. Mm-hmm. And when you look at how stifled England were today, when you look at how difficult England found it to break down Andorra, and I just have to emphasise again,
for Jack, weren't they?
Andorra. Like, I don't know if everybody actually recognises quite how small Andorra is. It's 80,000 people. It's less, as a population, it's less than fits in Wembley Stadium. And we can't break them down. Like, this is the minnows from, like, the Spanish 3rd, 4th division. That's who we're playing. The Andorran League itself. That's who Noni Madueke and Eberiche Eze are playing against. How are they not breaking this team down? And it must be managerial.
It's got to be managerial from my point of view. Look, you said it yourself. How much does he care? If he doesn't win the World Cup, he's going to walk away. He's got however many million in his back pocket. And he's taken our game backwards. It's just, it's frustrating. I know someone shouted out earlier about Eddie Howe. And again, Eddie's not going to leave, is he? He's got projects in Newcastle. Unless things go desperately wrong, he's going to be staying.
I always come back to Eddie Howe, though. I always come back to Eddie Howe because just because I think it's a disgrace that he wasn't even interviewed. And Eddie Howe's actually gone on record, I think, when he was a Bournemouth manager, saying the one job that he could never turn down was the England manager's job. It was like the holy grail for him, the promised land. And the fact that he wasn't even interviewed, they just gave it to Tuchel. They didn't even have the courtesy to interview Eddie Howe. I think it's appalling.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, who's making these decisions at the top? Who at the top of the FA thinks it's better to bring in Tuchel but not even interview him? What is the mindset? That is just complete and utter.
Well, do you know what else?
I mean, it's failings. It's failings at the very, very top.
It's failings at the very top. You're absolutely right. It's failings at the very top of the FA. But because do you know what they had before as well? Whether you backed it or not, we either committed to a principle or wasted the Gareth Southgate years, depending on your perspective on that, right? With this Howard Wilkinson pathway, where we will back young English managers, we now have a situation where our own FA are now not prepared to back young English managers. How on earth can we ever expect the Premier League clubs to back English managers if our own FA turn our back on English managers the second that we get the opportunity?
Yeah, agree, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I think it's such a shame the way that it's gone, because I think that we have everything that we did under Southgate and the unity that was built under Gareth Southgate. It feels like we've totally and utterly rode back on that, and I mean, it feels like we're back to square one. Rob, can anything happen to change your opinion on this? Can you see a world where Gareth Southgate, a world where Thomas Tuchel lifts the Jules Rimet aloft in North America next year?
I don't think that it happens. I mean, the only thing I think we need a couple of decent. Obviously, we need to go out and put a decent performance out in Serbia. That's going to sort of win people over. I think obviously the players that I mentioned maybe coming in. I just can't see when you're this close to a World Cup and your remit is about win it, and we're further away from winning it than I thought that we were. I would say 4 years ago when it will be next year. I can't see it. I genuinely don't. That's really, really sad as an England fan. When you look at the potential that we have out on that pitch, to have that thought that I don't think I think we'll probably get out of the group. I don't even know if we'll go beyond the sort of last 16 based on what we're seeing. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it turn around. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see us win it, of course.
Rob, I'm with you. Look, I'm with you. Since Thomas Tuchel's come in, it has been underwhelming. Is the kindest way I can put it. You've also got to remember that we lost to Senegal at Nottingham Forest fairly recently. We beat Andorra 1-0 away from home, which is as close to a 1-0 victory that feels like a defeat. And now we've just won 2-0 at home. It's so poor. The performances feel totally poor. And anyone that was at Villa Park today, I would love to hear from you. If you're an England fan who committed your time, your money to go to Villa Park and maybe leave early, I would love to hear from you today. What was the atmosphere like in the stadium? Please do give me a ring. 03717 223344. Now, still to come on talkSPORT this evening, it's the best boxing show on the radio. It's Fight Night. And England's next World Cup qualifier is on Tuesday as they take on Serbia. That is also live on talkSPORT. But keep your calls coming into us after tonight's dull win against Andorra. 03717 223344. I'll speak to you after the break.
Ryder Cup. Unique, euphoric, unanimously loved. Here's the history and some of the key numbers behind the contest that grips the world of golf and beyond like no other. The first edition was held in 1927, where a Great Britain team arrived by boat to play in Massachusetts at the Worcester Country Club. Originally, the competition comprised of 4 foursomes and 8 singles, with 4 balls not introduced until 1963. In the first 22 editions, when it was just Brits and Irish against the US, America only lost 3. So, in 1979, in came the rest of Europe, including the future 5-time Ryder Cup winner, Seve Ballesteros. Since Team Europe was established, the head-to-head reads Europe 13, USA 9. Home advantage is a big deal. Europe's last away win was the miracle at Medina in 2012, and America hasn't won on European soil since '93 at the Belfry. It's accepted that both teams tailor their home courses to suit their own players. For example, in Paris in 2018, Thomas Bjorn asked for the rough to be kept extra long beyond the green to target the big booming American drives. 10 years earlier, Paul Azinger did the opposite, and the Valhalla rough was trimmed right down. On both occasions, the home side were resounding winners. So what about the money? The most recent Ryder Cup in Rome drew in a record 271,000 spectators and boosted the Italian economy by €262 million. In the US, the PGA America TV deal with NBC is worth $440 million. But no Ryder Cup revenue has ever gone directly to individual players. That's until now. In 2025, for the first time ever, the US team will each receive a fee for playing in New York. Of course, in Rome, legend has it Patrick Cantley refused to wear his cap because he wasn't being paid to wear it, though he insisted it simply didn't fit. Either way, Team Europe have made it clear they're more than happy to keep playing for the sheer thrill, joy and prestige of the Ryder Cup.
Listening to the Rory Jennings Show on talkSPORT. England have been appalling, insipid, dull, tedious, underwhelming. Fans walking out early, fans singing about politicians. That is how poor it was. And that is effectively the summary of what happened at Villa Park as England beat Andorra 2-0. Yes, England won. Yes, England got the 3 points. Yes, we are still unbeaten under Thomas Tuchel. And yes, we are heading to America. But to what end, I do not know. I really do want to hear from you. Is there a world where England can actually win the World Cup? Or are we simply contenders again? I genuinely believed under Gareth Southgate that we were moving in the right direction. And the tournaments that we've gone to of late, I went into those tournaments truly believing that there was a chance that England could lift the trophy aloft. This feels so different. It feels to me like we have regressed. Give me a ring, 03717 223344. We're going to go straight back to the phone lines now. We're going to speak to David, a Sheffield United fan, I believe. David, sir, you are live on talkSPORT.
Hiya there, we're just on our way back from the game now, actually.
Oh, how was it in there?
We were sat in the stands. The build-up was fine, the atmosphere was good until 10-15 minutes in, and it's what we've seen over the last few months of Thomas Tuchel. It's boring. We left after 80 minutes. I thought I was treating the kids to a day out watching England, but I think they feel like I punished them.
David, do you do a lot of the England games?
No.
So today you just fancied
the kids.
Right.
It's because it's an hour and a half from home. We're just near Sheffield, being obviously a Sheffield United fan. It's an hour and a half to Villa Park, so I thought I'd give this one a go. A lot of the other games fall obviously at Wembley and in the evening, so this was a perfect opportunity, but I can't say I'd jump at the chance again.
No. You know, when you were leaving the stadium at 80 minutes, how compact was it to get out of the ground? Were a lot of people leaving at that point?
A lot of people leaving. They first started after about, I would say I noticed after half time, empty seats. And then it gradually picked up after 70 minutes. And then we decided on 80 that we were going to go because I could see more and more were leaving. So you start thinking, well, the traffic's going to build up, etc. And it just sent right, and I couldn't see another goal. I really couldn't, and I was absolutely right.
Did it feel flat in there? You know, 30th minute, 40th minute. Did it feel quite flat?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like you rightly say, when you start singing about politicians instead, I mean, I couldn't make out some of the other songs for it. I don't know whether you were singing "Or in England" or something like that. There was something coming out of some of the fans. Everybody felt the same. Everybody was chanting the same thing. This is terrible. 3 guys walked in front of me. They'd just gone for the caps. That was it. That's all they'd gone for.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. I think that the responsibility of an England manager is to inspire. It's to create togetherness. It's to put in a performance that you can be proud of, and to get people who have committed their time and their money and gone to the game off their seats. It's so flat. You can't blame people for leaving. It really is a shame. What do you think moving forward, David? Are you happy with Thomas Tuchel? Were you happy with the appointment?
No, I wasn't. No, I'm trying to still work out the reason why he even went for the job. Whether he wants the Germany job going forward, he's trying to prove himself maybe as a national, but he's not looking like it. If I was, the German Federation, I wouldn't be looking at him. No. The way he's approached things with England, he's not exciting. I mean, games against Andorra, you've got to say that any player that steps on that field from that squad should be able to turn them over comfortably. Yes, if we've got Bellingham, yes, if we've got Palmer, Saka, you would expect a little bit more, but I still would expect more than 2-0 out of your Eze's, your Kanes, your Rice. Obviously, the back four didn't have a lot to do. Pickford didn't have a lot to do, and I would expect that anyway. I just felt as though a lot of sideways passing.
Yeah, it's flat. And do you know what, David? I really do appreciate this call. The one thing that I would say though, when you ask almost rhetorically, why does Thomas Tuchel want the job? The reason that he wants a job, I imagine, I can think of 5 million reasons as to why he would want the job. 5 million reasons a year as to why he would want the job. So I imagine that wouldn't have been too far away from his rationale when taking that opportunity. David, thank you so much for your call, and get home safely. We're going to stay with the phone lines now, and we're going to go to Peter. Peter, you're calling from the States, I hear.
Yeah, Rory. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, Peter. Not too bad. Were you watching the England game?
Good. I did. I got up for it. We're 8 hours behind here. And so I got up. It was on at 9 a.m. And Rory, I got to say, listen, I'm a soccer fan all the way, football, as you say it. I played all the way into uni myself. I'm a Chelsea fan. I do support the U.S., but we're kind of pathetic. But my second team is England. I really support you all. But I got to say, it's not the coach. It's the players. They show no fire in their belly. They just dance around. They pass backwards. They hold possession in unimportant areas, in the midfield, out on the wings. They don't. It's like they're a bunch of prima donnas.
But do you know what I would contest that with, Peter?
Problem.
Peter, a lot of what you're saying is true, and it's certainly true on today's performance. But what I would say that doesn't necessarily rationalise with the point that you're making is Eberechi Eze, for example, is one of the most glorious footballers to watch. Like, in terms of my favourite players to watch play football, Cole Palmer aside, I would say that Eberechi Eze in full flow.
He's a lovely player.
He's a glorious sight.
But you know what? When they get on the stage with that England jersey on, with the England kit on, they start to they play like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because I'm a Chelsea fan. They play like Arsenal. They play not to lose. They play passive. They play possession. They don't want to lose the ball. They don't take on people. They don't get aggressive. There's no fire in their belly. And so listen, I may be biased because Tuchel got us a Champions League Cup, but I don't think it's Tuchel. I mean, listen, Tuchel.
I think you're being really generous. I do. I think that insulating Thomas Tuchel from the criticism here, I think it's really generous, simply because there was.
He doesn't play exciting football, but what he does do is he closes down the goal. It's no surprise that England hasn't given up a single goal in qualifying.
No, but it's no surprise because we're playing Andorra twice. It's not no surprise that England haven't conceded. It's no surprise that we haven't conceded because we're playing two holding midfielders against Andorra. Two of the games have been against Andorra. 80,000 population.
Let me give you a statistic. So I live in a suburb of Los Angeles. We have 110,000 people in our suburb. And Andorra is smaller, of course, with 80,000. So I did the math, and I asked ChatGPT, I said, how many males are there in Andorra between age 20 and 30? 5,306. So they have,
your chances of getting a game for the Andorran national side are fairly high.
It's like 1 in 200 males.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. They're playing a uni team.
Yeah.
And today was a loss. I mean, let's be honest.
No, I agree with you. I agree. I think a 1-0 win against Andorra away from home is a loss. A 2-0 win at home to Andorra is a loss. I agree. It's such an uninspiring result. It's such a poor result. And basically now I'm feeling so flat. I don't think I felt this flat about an England team since the Roy Hodgson era. That's how bad I think it's gone. Peter, we've gone international, and I really do appreciate your call. Thank you so much. Now, I really do want to hear from you. Please give me a ring. Let me know your thoughts on this Tuchel debacle, on this fallout from Villa Park, because I'm feeling so flat about it. 03717 223344. This is the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT. That there is Coldplay, and the reason that England played at Villa Park, a concept, by the way, that I'm totally in favour of, was because Coldplay are playing at Wembley Stadium. There will be more people watching Coldplay at Wembley Stadium than there are people in Andorra. And England have just limped to a 2-0 home victory against that opposition. We're going to go straight back to the calls, and I'm very interested in this call. It's from Lewis, and Lewis, I believe, feels like I'm being too harsh on Thomas Tuchel. Lewis, sir, you're live on talkSPORT. Welcome. Lewis, sir, can you hear me? Sadly, you can't. We're going to go to George. George, you are live on talkSPORT. How are you?
Yeah, all right, guys. All good. Right, listen, we just heard on the news then that England have got a 100% record. 100% record in this. You got Serbia, Latvia, Andorra. It's just England, they're just, it's the same as what I said. I always say England are a top championship side. That's all they are. They're a top championship side. When they come up against a proper outfit, your Germanys, your Spains, your Italys, your Dutch, all of them, England always fail.
No, George, okay? George, I completely agree with you. I think it's ludicrous, and I think that people who are fortunate enough like me to sit in front of a microphone like this shouldn't be saying things like that. You can't be talking about a 100% record when your opposition are Albania, Andorra, Latvia, and Serbia. You can't be talking about keeping clean sheets against the likes of Andorra. We've kept 2 clean sheets against Andorra. What on earth are you talking about? It's moronic.
Exactly. Yeah, but we've played this team. Was it 4 times in the past 3 years, or 3 times a year? Do you know what I mean? Do you know the last time we played Argentina in a competitive game?
In a competitive game against Argentina? I can remember playing them in a friendly in Geneva. Michael Owen scored. Was it Owen in the last minute?
The last time we played Argentina...
It wasn't Pochettino fouling Michael Owen, was it?
20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Why do we play Andorra all the time?
Well, yeah, exactly. England, you got to look at FIFA with this as well. England, like I say, they're a top championship side. The thing is with England, there is no... I don't know if it's the FA or what, but there's no heart, there's no foundation, there's nothing there. You haven't got one leader on that pitch.
However,
tell me a leader on that pitch.
No, I think there are leaders on the pitch. Hang on, sorry, I do think there are leaders on the pitch. I just don't necessarily... I think Declan Rice is a leader. I think Reece James is a leader. I think Harry Kane is a leader. But they're not acting like leaders.
We know that. We're Chelsea fans. Reece James ain't a captain. I'm sorry about that. Enzo Fernandez.
No, but he can be a captain.
No leader on that. There's no John Terry. There's no Rio Ferdinand.
No, but there are different ways to be. There are different ways to be a captain. I think Harry Kane is an excellent captain. He's a captain by example.
No, come on. Look at England. They're just... Nah,
I think I've got no issue. I've got no issue with the leadership qualities of Harry Kane. I think he is a true leader. He doesn't necessarily do it in the Roy Keane, John Terry mould, but there are various ways to be a leader. I thought N'Golo Kante, who wasn't exactly Roy Keane, he was a great leader. You can do it in various ways. But what I do agree with you on is that I think there are leaders on the pitch, but they aren't necessarily behaving in a leadership way, and that's a managerial issue.
Is there a foundation there at England? Is there a foundation? Is there a heartbeat?
Did you think there was a foundation when Southgate was manager? Do you think we've lost something since Tuchel came in?
Right. So let's go on to that. I think Southgate was building something very, very... he came up short, and I don't think Southgate was the man, but he was implanting something into that England squad that was something about English, something about England. We haven't got that anymore. We got Tuchel. Look, don't get me wrong. Tuchel, he won us the Champions League. He's German. He's not an English. He's just not. It's not there. We haven't got it. We haven't got it. I guarantee you this. We get to that World Cup, we will come short.
No, do you know what, George? George, you're preaching to the converted here, mate. I completely agree with you. I've got no genuine belief that we have any chance in this tournament. And I'm not that guy. The guy that I am naturally going into tournaments, I'm bucket hat on, 3 lions on a shirt, world in motion, doing my Keith Allen impressions, believing that we're going to win every tournament. This will be the first tournament I can remember going into where I honestly believe that we have no chance.
No chance whatsoever. No chance whatsoever.
It's a real shame. George, I appreciate your call. I really do. Thank you so much for your time. And anybody else, if this has resonated with you, I really do want to hear from you. 03717 223344. That's a number that Lewis called. We're going to try you again, Lewis. Are you there, sir? Lewis? Lewis is pranking us. What a shame.
Hiya, Rory.
Oh, Lewis,
Hiya, Rory.
there you are.
Hiya, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. What do you do? Have us on mute or so? Have yourself muted?
Oh, no, to be honest with you, the one time I just was on hold, and the one time I went to the toilet, all I heard from the other room was, Lewis. Oh, right, I need to run back now.
Well, you are live on talkSPORT now, relieved as well, which is good.
Oh, nice one for having me.
You, I believe, are thinking that I've been a little bit too harsh regarding my assessment of Tuchel.
I don't know, maybe harsh is the wrong word, but it's just more that I'm trying to look at the bigger picture, really. Everyone's saying, obviously, Tuchel's, I'm a Chelsea fan for context anyway, and Tuchel's obviously a tournament manager, as everyone keeps rightfully saying. Well, let him get to the tournament. I mean, we've only conceded, I know the opposition's terrible, but we've only conceded 1 shot on target in 4 games, and you can only play who's in front of you. Like,
Lewis, you can't do that.
No, I know what you're going to say.
Lewis,
no, I know
you
what you're
can't
going to say.
do that. This would be the equivalent. This would be the equivalent of Chelsea playing Boreham Wood, and me going, they didn't have a shot on target. It's actually ridiculous. Like, of course they haven't had a shot on target. They're Andorra. They don't even want a shot on target. Their whole point is to nullify it. They're not even trying to win the game.
No, I totally agree. And the thing is, like I was saying, then you can only play who's in front of you. And I feel like the better the opposition we get, and the more of our players that are actually going to play. Because let's be real, I was looking at it before. Grealish, arguably the most informed left winger in the country at the minute, he'll play over Rashford. Palmer's going to start over Eze.
He weren't in the squad, Lewis.
No, I'm talking about for the summer, for the World Cup.
What makes you think that Thomas Tuchel? I mean, I think he's had some fairly shaky squads anyway. I think some of his inclusions have been weird anyway. What makes you think that he would give Jack Grealish the opportunity?
I mean, 4 assists in 2 games is a great way to start. I mean, the fact that, like I said, he's probably the most informed left winger in the country.
Lewis, sorry, they're 2 different points. I completely agree that he deserves it. I think England should play Jack Grealish. He'd start in my England team. I think he's a wonderful footballer.
100%.
The point I'm making is, have you seen anything in Thomas Tuchel to suggest that he is going to favour a Maverick?
I mean, to be honest with you, I like the idea that he doesn't want too many Mavericks, because one of the bigger points is there's no Phil Foden in the squad. And I'll be honest, Phil Foden's probably played about 40 games for England, and I couldn't tell you one game other than the Senegal game in the World Cup where I thought, you know what, he was on it for us then today. So I feel like he is all right, and he will take a Maverick, but he isn't going to take too many of them. I can see him loving Palmer when he's back. But it's just like, I think with the players that have played today, like Anderson, he's playing over Bellingham. You've got Levi Colwell, who's out for the season. Dan Burns getting a game. I mean, it's mental. And like, there's people that I've not even mentioned yet that could even provide depth or even take a start from down the line. You've got like Liam Delap, Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Lewis Hall, Luke Shaw, Mainu, Adam Wharton, Chalobah, Maguire. These are all players that definitely contest for places, and they're better than some of the people that we've had in the squad there. That I think it's.
So what are you saying here, Lewis? So everything's all right, really, and I've been a slightly reactionary. Is that the bottom line here?
No. To be honest with you, Roy, I think it's somewhere in the middle. It's maybe that little grey area, to be honest with you, because me as an England fan, that's not good enough. Like, not a chance. That is not good enough. And like you said, the opposition, it's nothing to be desired. But I just think that, for context, we've probably got like 4 or 5 players there that are probably going to start in the World Cup that we haven't had tonight, and we're probably carrying too many England players at the minute, Rory. I don't know. I feel like it's never been easier to get an England cap these days. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean that's possibly true. The only thing I would say is I think that there are some players who are not getting the opportunities that they deserve, and there are others who are getting far too many caps. Lewis, I really do appreciate your call. Excellent insight, and yeah, I mean there is always that way of looking at it. Thomas Tuchel, as Lewis said, he put it succinctly and put it very well. Thomas Tuchel is a top-tier tournament manager. So why on earth are we judging him before we're in a tournament? I guess is a theory. Not one that I necessarily agree with, but it is a theory nonetheless. Now, this is very interesting. I'm just having a read of it myself. I suggest that you head over to the talkSPORT website, talksport.com, immediately. Adrian Durham's player ratings are now up on the website, and he hasn't pulled any punches. They are harsh, and I'm not going to give anything away here, but Adrian Durham, you are looking at a few players getting 3 3 out of 10. Make sure that you head over to talksport.com to check out the main man that is Adrian Durham's player ratings. And also, give me a call after you have 03717 223344. Next up, we'll hear from the England manager, Thomas Tuchel.
Now, with over $3 billion spent in the Premier
League. Inside the penalty area, clipping it in! And he's taking a touch off an Andorran defender to beat his goalkeeper and give England the lead. Way back to Gahey, forward towards James. Kane making an early run. It's Rice coming round the back. And he's headed it in for two. And the cheer is one of relief. And that will do. Well, it's only two. And I suppose from that point of view, there will be brickbats and criticism levelled at the three lions, but the feeling within Villa Park is that it was an improved England performance, much better than the two displays in June. Clearly still a lot to work on, but there were positives, a better tempo. England looked more potent from wide positions, and they've won it with an own goal and a Declan Rice header. England 2, Andorra 0. They maintain their 100% record and still comfortably clear at the top of the group.
The Rory Jennings phone-in show, and that is how England beat Andorra 2-0 at Villa Park. But many people were not happy with that drab, underwhelming performance that saw thousands of fans walk out early. So, before we get back to your calls, earlier talkSPORT's Faker Others caught up with the England boss Thomas Tuchel, and this is what he had to say.
Thomas, congratulations. Another World Cup qualifying win. Were you happy with the performance this time round?
Yeah, I liked the effort and I liked the attitude. I liked also the quality of most of the time. 15 minutes after the goal, we had some ball losses that were totally unnecessary and cost us a little bit the rhythm. But we picked it up again in second half. Created a lot. I think we didn't score enough. You could just see how a second goal then gives us the freedom and the confidence and the joy, makes things so much easier and gives the opponent, of course, the signal that the game is over for them. So it has a huge impact. We had to wait a little bit long for the second goal, but overall much more positive things than negative.
What I did notice is you clapping Elliot Anderson on repeat.
Yeah.
How impressed were you with his performance today?
Very impressed. We didn't know what's coming because it's not so easy to play for England and be nervous and of course it's a big occasion for him and he did so well, so I was very happy for him. The team around him made it very easy for him, I think, as well, and competition was on this week and he fulfilled every task that we asked from him, so well done.
He just looked really comfortable, didn't he?
He got very, very quickly in his game and in his flow, and then we didn't want to disturb anymore.
Has he, you're not going to tell me if he's going to start against Serbia, but has that performance perhaps, put that in your thoughts?
That was not the test, but it was, I think, a fairer option also for him, a fairer opportunity to get his first game in a home match against Andorra in a strong squad. So we were, without being arrogant, but we were clear favourites. We were the better team, and we knew this from the start. So this was the right moment also for a debut for him in central midfield to see, because now comes a lot of physicality on Tuesday, and I would say he passed the test, so he's in the mix for Tuesday.
Just finally, what's your main positive that you take out of today's game, and what's the thing that you were disappointed in the most?
Yeah, disappointed is not the wrong word, but I think we should have scored more. The main point is that it was exactly the right step, what I expected. I still see that we can still play with a little bit more freedom, but it's maybe also normal to be a bit nervous and be a bit tense. It's World Cup qualifiers. I will not fall into this trap now and look for the negative. There's a lot of positive stuff to take away. We had now excellent 5 days, and we know that in sports what counts is always the next day. So from tomorrow we will prepare and we will prepare for Serbia and try to get a next win.
There we have it. That's England manager Thomas Tuchel talking. And to be totally honest with you, it all feels rather underwhelming. It all feels rather flat. Not exactly inspirational there from the current England manager, particularly when you think that he was brought in on a remit of winning the World Cup. The entire point of this appointment was to win England the World Cup. It all just feels so flat. And to be totally honest with you, it feels to me like it's going wrong. Now, the half-time score is in the World Cup qualifier in Dublin. It's Ireland 0, Hungary 2. We're now going to go straight back to the phone lines. And if you have a strong opinion on England, I really do want to hear from you. 03717 223344. That is the phone number that Ian called. Ian, you're live on talkSPORT.
How are you, Rory? All right?
Yeah, I'm okay, Ian. I'm okay. I feel so deflated. I'm about as passionate an England fan as I could be. I love following England. I've followed England to multiple tournaments, and I'm desperate in my lifetime to see England win silverware. And I feel like it is further away than ever.
I just can't get my head around the fact that you're saying, you've just said it a moment before you put my call on air, Tuchel has been brought in to win a tournament. We've just beat Andorra in a qualifier. Irrelevant whether the game was done or not. He hasn't had an opportunity to do what his remit has. He hasn't lost the final yet. He hasn't got to the tournament yet.
No.
So all this negativity, I just don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have kept Southgate personally, but I understand that Southgate was management by numbers. Substitutes at 65 minutes, this, that and the other. Tuchel better than me because he was the manager at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Would you have swapped Tuchel for Southgate at the time?
No, but I do also believe that it isn't quite as binary as that. You can be the better manager for England isn't necessarily the better manager for Chelsea. For example, Mikel Arteta wouldn't be a good Liverpool manager, but I think Arsenal fans would say that he's a good Arsenal manager. Roy Hodgson was an excellent Fulham manager, but he wasn't an excellent Liverpool manager. You can be a good manager, but not good for a particular circumstance. And Thomas Tuchel was an excellent club manager.
Fulham and Liverpool, you can't equate Fulham and Liverpool, can you?
No. What I'm saying is that it's not as simple as saying that a manager is a good manager at every club he goes to. That you can be good in a particular circumstance, depending on the circumstance of the club. And Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea was fantastic. But Gareth Southgate at England at various points was also fantastic.
But we're writing the man off before he's done what he's been appointed to do.
What he was appointed to do, though, would you not say that what he was also appointed to do was invigorate, inspire, add some flair, add some belief? It's not a simple job, is it? It's like he's meant to capture the nation. Are you feeling particularly enthused by England at the moment?
Does anybody get enthused at the qualifiers where we're playing San Marino or whoever we play? I mean, you had the guy on earlier and say, when did we last play Argentina? And you asked him, well, yeah, it's always Andorra. It's always Andorra because we're in Europe. The qualifiers are irrelevant. We always do the qualifiers. We always finish top of our group, and then we get to the tournament, and that's where it matters. Now, we could have beat Andorra 15-0 tonight and still lost 1-0 in the quarter-final when we get there.
Yeah,
or we could win 2-0 tonight, and then we get to the quarter-final.
Have you seen? I'm interested in your perspective on this, Ian, because to be totally honest, it doesn't at all chime with the way I see the situation. I'm finding it flat, but I'd like to feel like you. So I'm hoping you can educate me here. What have you seen to be invigorated? What have you seen to believe that we can still win a World Cup under Tuchel?
We don't know what's going to happen. That's what I was. We didn't have some of the players there that we should have. In fairness, which you have said, some of the players that are there shouldn't be there. I agree with that. But
it's also important, Ian. It's Andorra.
What every squad is now, is squad for the tournament matters, doesn't it? What we do in that tournament matters.
Yes, but he's been brought in for a really finite period. He's been brought in literally for just under 18 months to win a tournament.
And he's got to get to that tournament first.
Yes, but we need to see the seeds being planted because there is no time for it to grow. He's not going to have time for this to evolve. It needs to happen now because in less than a year, his contract is up.
I don't understand what you mean by evolve. The players play football every week. The manager manages football teams every week. It's not like you've got to teach them what to do. All we ever need is somebody to get them at the right day and get them to click. Now, until that moment comes...
But that needs to be happening now, doesn't it?
You can't make it happen, can you?
Because there aren't that many training camps left. There aren't that many opportunities left. It needs to happen now. What we need to see, for England to have a genuine chance of lifting silverware in the USA, we need to see some sort of semblance of it coming together now.
Would you say that we've got less idea going than we did under Southgate then?
I would say that it's certainly worse now than it was under Southgate in the early years of Southgate. When it was good with Southgate, 2020, 2021, when it was good, it was far better then than it is now under Tuchel.
And what did Southgate do any different that
Southgate brought a togetherness. There was a good feeling. There was a harmony. I thought that Southgate did a lot
I agree with that.
Villa Park was half empty. Villa Park was half empty. Villa Park was half empty.
I wouldn't have got Southgate. I mean, basically, the country fell out of love with the England team, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And Southgate brought that back and made England accessible to not just football fans, but to
Yeah. Look, Ian, I like your glass half full approach, and I hope that you're correct. I really do appreciate your call, Ian, and fingers crossed your take on this is going to be more accurate than mine. We're going to stay with the phone lines now. We're going to talk to Simon. Simon in Bolton, how are you, sir? Simon, are you there? No, you're not. We're going to go to Tom in Preston. Tom, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hiya.
How are you?
Hi, good evening. I'm very well. I'm just on the way back from Villa Park to Preston.
Well, tell me everything, Tom. How was it in there?
So, first of all, it's really nice to see the England team travelling around the country, away from London. Obviously, don't get to see them as much living up this end of the country.
I totally agree with you, Tom, but it's not quite as good as you think. Do you know why it happened?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah. No, I listen. I think this should happen. I think that England should play at St James's Park, at Anfield, and at Wembley. I think it should happen all over. But the reason that it happened today, wasn't a gift, or it wasn't a part of a new thinking. It was because Coldplay happened to have booked Wembley.
Well, fair enough.
Which is a shame.
Yeah,
Which is a shame.
We've had the road show historically where they've been up to Manchester there is a really nice feel about it. There was a really good feel at the start of the game. The ground was full. The game was sold out. I was a bit disappointed at the outflux of people on 75 minutes after the second goal, and I think that is a big issue with the England team in terms of the fans not being fully unified behind them and all standing behind them. But up until that point, I enjoyed the evening. I thought there was some good passages of play.
How was the atmosphere generally in the stadium? Was it loud?
Yeah, the first half an hour I thought was really good. Madueke had some good runs down the side. The fans were up. There was plenty of singing, plenty of chanting. It went a bit flat later on, and obviously then a lot of people started departing around the 75 minute mark. But the point I want to make is that people are trying to rewrite history with regards to Gareth Southgate. He cost us Euro 96. He cost us 2021. And people are suddenly saying he should return as though he's the Messiah. He could categorically not get us over the line. We've brought in a serial trophy winner, and in major tournaments, two of the big key issues that teams go on to win with is possession of the football and keeping clean sheets. And that is what I think Tuchel is trying to do with this team. He's trying to get the players to keep possession, keep clean sheets, because when we get to the tournament, that's what's going to get you over the line.
Can I ask you a question regarding that, Tom? Tom, can I just ask you a question regarding the theory? I agree with you in principle. The reason why I think it's a slightly risky strategy for this crop of England players is because what we are brilliant at is the effusive, creative spirit. Like, we have so many players like that. The one Achilles heel that you would say around this England team is potentially the defence. So surely what we should be doing isn't relying on a defence that isn't our strong point. What we should be doing is working out how to go for the jugular, working out how to be creatively brilliant, not working out how to nullify opposition when our own Achilles heel is our back line.
Well, how many major teams have gone into major tournaments and have wiped the floor with teams? It doesn't work that way. Brazil don't go and win every single tournament, and they have a very limited defence on occasions. The key point is possession of the football and keeping clean sheets and keeping the opposition out. England under Southgate in 2021 went ahead and then had no idea what to do with it. He kept giving the ball back. The same when we played Croatia. We kept Croatia the ball the entire time and letting them keep it. That's what I think Tuchel is going to be doing. That's what I think he's going to focus on. And goodness sake, the guy needs to have a tournament. He's had 4 or 5 games. Let him get to a tournament. If he fails, he's going to get absolutely pillared, let's be honest. But let the guy have a tournament and let the country unite and get behind him. I think that the problem, there's a huge split between people, possibly because of his nationality. And sadly, that's going to be the be-all and end-all. But I really hope that he does get there and he does do well, because I think it would be really good to see for the country.
It's a great call, Tom. It's a great call. I mean, you and I don't necessarily align on it, but I think you've presented your case brilliantly, and it really was good to talk to you. Now, it is another busy Sunday on talkSPORT tomorrow, and it all starts with a very special edition of the Weekend Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer, and we don't need another hero, Tony Cascarino, from 6 a.m. Tune in to find out why it is such a special show. And then, majestic and experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew are taking more of your calls from 6 p.m, and it is always must-listen to radio. But for now, keep your calls coming in, 03717 223344, to air your views on the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT. biggest competition today. Winners, not one, but 2 lucky winners will win a pair of Oasis tickets when they return to Wembley Stadium on the 27th of September. Plus, that's not all. Alongside the tickets, we're giving you the chance to win a whopping 25 grand. For all the details on how to enter this amazing competition, listen up right now.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word Oasis to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Now, we are edging ever closer to the end of the show, so I want to get as many of your calls in as possible. We're going to go straight back to the phone lines to discuss that England performance at Villa Park, and we're going to speak to Dave, a West Ham fan. Dave, you're live on talkSPORT.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Not too bad, Dave. Not too bad. And you?
I'm all right. Yeah, it was a pretty flat performance. I get that, but it's Andorra. It's that first international break when really all our minds are towards the Premier League. But I must say, the arrogance, the self-entitlement, and the set of standards that we set ourselves as English supporters when we think what should be getting in front of us is staggering sometimes. Right?
In what sense?
He's not going to win this tournament. He's got to be an English manager who manages England. That's the first thing that really gets my go, because I feel like there's going to be a high proportion of supporters who want this to fail just because he's German. That's the first one, right? He has a style of doing things, right? He has won things, yeah? Everyone was moaning about Southgate at the last tournament. He was tournament too far. He's ruined his team. He's too friendly with them. He won't drop them. He won't make the tough decisions on certain players in certain positions. And then suddenly we have one game which, if they win 2-0, it's boring, right? If they win 8-1, they'll go, well, they let a goal in. Oh, they can't let goals in. It's all about defence. You've got to make sure you don't let Andorra score. Because if you let Andorra score, what happens if Argentina come down? And what if a big team comes down? He's literally on a hiding to nothing with these games. He's got to get 3 points, get to that World Cup, yeah, and then we can judge him.
Dave, do you think that's entirely accurate? Do you feel like people are waiting for him to fail? Like, say England had put in a fairly inspiring performance today. Say it had been cut and thrust, getting in behind, breaking them down regularly, and the game had finished 5-1. I think that we'd be feeling quite upbeat. I don't think we'd be focusing on the fact that they scored.
Disagree. We'll just go, it's Andorra. Why are we getting all giddy? It's Andorra. Why are we blowing smoke up him after one game against Andorra? Literally, I'm telling you now, it's the way we work. It's like, I remember, I was like, Euro 96, I was a young lad, loved it. 30 years of hurt. It is 60 years now of hurt coming next year.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
So do you
we
think,
go round in circles.
Do you think it's positive then today, really? We got the win. We kept a clean sheet. I'm arguing that it isn't for the rank. Just so you know, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, Dave. I've been the fan that you have been hostile to there. I've been the fan that's saying that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. It's Andorra, 80,000 population Andorra, and that performance has worried me going into this World Cup. Are you saying that effectively it's all right?
I would say to you, with all your knowledge in football, I would say to you, just calm down. Yeah, just calm down. It's Andorra, 3 points. Move on. We've got to move on. We've got to move on, because at the end of the day, one thing Gareth Southgate did, which was brilliant, is he made an England team want to play for England. Right? We had a number of amazing teams that didn't even want to speak to each other in the cafeteria, let alone play with each other.
Yeah.
So he left a legacy there, right? I really hope the players get behind Tuchel, because what he might bring, which is what Southgate didn't have, is that ability in a game to go, this is how you win.
Yeah, tweak
and win. This is how you win. Not against Andorra, right? This is how you win when we play France or when we play Brazil or whoever we may play. I know how to do it, and it's going to be a tough decision, and we're going to go and do it. So just back him. Just back him.
Dave, I rate it. It's a good call, Dave. It's great to talk to you. I really do like the perspective. It doesn't necessarily chime with how I see the situation, but I think it's very important to actually adopt that. And I wish that I felt the way that you do. It's very, very good call and really good to talk to you. We're going to go back into the phone lines. We're going to speak to Gareth, Tottenham fan. Gareth, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Were you listening to that call just there?
Yeah, I was listening to it.
Does the way that he reconciles this chime with the way you see it, or do you think that he's being a bit generous?
I can appreciate where he's coming from, and I can respect both sides of the coin. For me, as I said to your researcher, you know, you've got to be able to win scruffy. You don't have to play the best, and you know, to become champions. And you know, we say it about teams in the Premier League. You know, but at the same time, there doesn't seem to be that same passion, that same desire to fight under Tuchel that we had with Southgate. And to be fair, a couple of previous managers, even under Sven, there seemed to be more desire to fight together as a team than what I'm seeing under Tuchel, and nothing to do with his nationality. For that reason alone, it makes me doubt whether he's the right man for the job.
Can you see a world where maybe our previous caller's right? We get to America, we're playing in a semi-final, we're playing against the French in a semi-final, and he actually uses his managerial brilliance to win the game for us. Can you see a world where that happens, or do you think this is going to be over before it's begun as an experiment?
I'll be honest, if you combine what I said about teaching a team how to play scruffy, you know, and to be able to battle out even against the lower teams, you know, to battle out a win. Not I'm sure how you would do that, but if you combine that with what the last caller said, then yes, it's entirely possible. You know, anything is possible. You know, let's be honest. There have been a lot lesser managers over various forms of football, regardless of Premier League or World Cup or Europa League or anything else, who have achieved greatness, who you wouldn't expect them to.
It's a great call. It's a great call, Gareth. Do you know the two final callers there? Thank you so much. Have actually put a lot of perspective on this. Overall, I find the situation beating Andorra 2-0 in the most uninspiring, insipid way totally unacceptable. But there is a perspective here. We've won. We've kept a clean sheet. We're moving in the right direction. And Thomas Tuchel, his faults and his positives, he is, at the very essence, a tournament manager. So maybe we shouldn't be judging him until we get to a tournament. Not how I see it, to be totally honest with you. I'm worried. But I think that there is something in that. Now, thank you to everybody who has got involved, but that is it from me tonight, and I really do want to say thank you to everybody. It's been a brilliant show, and I appreciate everybody who's got in touch. Don't forget that England face Serbia live on talkSPORT this Tuesday in another World Cup qualifier with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls on the Sports Bar straight after that game. And head over to our website to look now at Adrian Durham's marks for tonight's game against Andorra. You've got to go and have a look. I'm not spoiling it, but Adrian Durham, the king of talkSPORT, is given a couple of 3 out of 10s. So you've got to go and have a look at those rankings. Coming up next, it's John Rawlin and Spencer Oliver on Fight Night right here on talkSPORT.